Let's get one thing straight before we begin. Nothing in this universe is still nothing. Everything is moving, everything is energy, and that includes you. You see, most people were raised in a world that taught them to rely on what they could see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. But the truth is, the physical world is only the tip of the iceberg. It's not the cause, it's the result. And if you live based on what you see with your eyes, you'll keep repeating the same results, the same income, the same frustrations year after year. Why? Because you haven't yet learned to master the law of vibration. Now let's break this down. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, these are frequencies. They are vibrations. And every thought you have sets you on a specific frequency. A thought of fear has a low vibration. A thought of wealth, power, and faith. Now that puts you on a higher frequency. The results in your life are a perfect match for your dominant vibration. This law has been hidden in plain sight for centuries. The ancient mystics knew it. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Bob Proctor taught this law relentlessly. Napoleon Hill embedded it in the pages of Think and Grow Rich when he spoke about faith, auto-suggestion, and burning desire. But it's up to you to apply it. Most people never break free because they're trapped in an emotional loop. They feel poor, so they think poor and they act poor. That reinforces the poverty vibration. But if you can learn to shift your vibration intentionally, even before your circumstances change, you start to operate from a new frequency, and the universe will meet you there. Listen closely. You do not get what you want in life. You get what you are in harmony with. You get what you vibrate. It's not your bank account that determines your wealth, it's your mindset. If you're stuck, it's not the world that needs to change. It's your energy. The question is, can you discipline your mind long enough to reprogram your vibration? This is not philosophy, it's physics. And once you realize that you are a transmitter and receiver of energy, you stop blaming external circumstances. You start taking control. That's when the magic begins. Let me tell you, every successful person you've ever admired, every millionaire, every visionary, they all mastered this law. Some consciously, most unconsciously, but they vibrated at the frequency of success before the world ever gave them the evidence. They believed before they shifted their inner world, and the outer world had no choice but to rearrange itself. Now don't be fooled. This isn't about wishful thinking. This is about sustained, emotionalized belief, fused with action. When your vibration is aligned with your purpose, your goals, and your highest truth, doors begin to open, people show up, ideas flow, and momentum builds. That's not coincidence, that's vibration in action. Here's what I want you to do. Starting today, raise your awareness, observe your thoughts. What frequency are you living on, poverty or prosperity, fear or faith, doubt or decision? Every second, you're broadcasting a signal to the universe. Make sure that signal is aligned with the life you want, not the life you're trying to escape. Because once you shift the vibration, everything shifts with it. Let's talk about the word that separates winners from wishers. Decision. You see, most people think they're making decisions, but what they're really doing is hesitating, analyzing, overthinking. They dabble, they hope, they try. But decision is not trying. It's not waiting for the perfect time. It's a mental commitment, an act of will that cuts off all other options. It's the inner moment when you stop negotiating with your limitations and start acting in alignment with your vision. Every man or woman who has accomplished anything worthwhile in history made a decision long before anyone else believed it was possible. They weren't waiting for the bank account to agree. They weren't waiting for permission. They weren't waiting for evidence. They decided, and the universe moved with them. Napoleon Hill said the mastery of procrastination is the foundation of all success. Procrastination is the exact opposite of decision. It's the thief of your destiny. Every time you hesitate on a goal, you send a signal to your subconscious mind that you doubt yourself. You reinforce fear, you lower your vibration, and you shrink your future to the size of your doubts. But when you decide with boldness, with certainty, and with persistence, you activate a power far beyond what you can see. That's where faith enters. Now, I'm not talking about blind religious faith. I'm talking about unshakable internal faith, the kind that tells you, I may not see the whole staircase, but I'm climbing anyway. Faith is a muscle. It grows through use. And the more you act from faith, instead of fear, the more your results begin to match your belief. Bob Proctor used to say that faith is the ability to see the invisible and believe in the intangible so that you can achieve the impossible. You don't get faith by waiting for results. You get results because you moved with faith. You acted as you impressed a new image on your subconscious mind and planted it like a seed. Understand this. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. It believes what you repeatedly impress upon it, emotionally and with repetition. So if you continue to feed it images of doubt, worry, fear, guess what? That's what your body will feel. That's what your life will reflect. But if you feed it images of power, of vision, of success, of wealth, your subconscious will begin to shift your habits, your vibration, your behavior, and your results. The world around you may be screaming lack. Your past may be filled with failure. Your environment may be drenched in doubt. But none of that matters when you're operating from inner vision. When you decide and move in faith, you align with the unseen laws that govern everything. One of the most powerful of those laws is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That law tells us that energy is always moving into form. Ideas, when properly emotionalized and held with faith, begin to move into physical reality. That means your thoughts, when sustained with belief and backed by decision, begin to materialize. They harden into... That's not philosophy. That's universal law. But here's the catch. Most people never hold an image long enough for it to transmute. They change their mind. They get distracted. They focus on the opposite of what they want. They allow the environment to control their inner world, instead of commanding the inner to shape the outer. You've got to become obsessed with the image of the life you want to live. You have to live there mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every single day, until the outside world surrenders to your inner truth. That's the game. And don't expect others to see what you see. Your dream was given to you, not them. It wasn't emailed to your friend. It didn't show up in someone else's inbox. It was planted in you. So don't abandon it just because they don't understand it. Listen closely now. Your ability to make clear, irrevocable decisions is the door to everything you want. Decide who you are. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. Decide what you're creating. And back that decision with consistent action, emotional intensity, and daily alignment. You are the cause. You are the root. You are the source of your results. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a creator of conditions. And when you live that truth, fear begins to evaporate. It can't exist in the same space as decision backed by faith. Now let me ask you, what are you tolerating in your life right now that you haven't yet decided to eliminate? What goals are you still trying to reach instead of declaring and pursuing with relentless persistence? Where have you let fear disguise itself as logic? You see, fear will always dress itself up as reason. It'll whisper, be realistic, wait for the right time, play it safe. But here's the secret, there is no right time. The perfect time is the moment you decide. Because once you do, the right ideas, people, and opportunities begin to appear. So don't sit back waiting. Don't overanalyze your way into regret. Don't die with your potential locked inside you. Decide, believe, act. This is the game changer, and it's available to you right now. If you've made it this far, let me tell you something. You're not ordinary. Ordinary minds check out when the work begins. They want quick answers, shallow motivation, easy victories, but not you. You're here because deep down you know you're made for something more, and you're ready to unlock it. So let's talk about the one quality that separates the dreamers from the achievers, the dabblers from the doers: persistence. Persistence is not just continuing for the sake of continuing. It's a spiritual commitment to your purpose, a refusal to be denied no matter how many obstacles show up. It's mental endurance powered by vision and emotion. You don't develop persistence by avoiding struggle. You develop it by leaning into resistance again and again until you've trained your mind to respond with strength instead of retreat. Think of it like this. The moment you set a goal, a real goal, something worthy of your soul, you're going to meet opposition. Not because the world is against you, but because the universe is checking how serious you are. Are you interested, or are you committed? Bob Proctor used to say, you don't decide how you're going to get there, you decide that you will get there. The way will show up if you persist. The resources will reveal themselves. The path will appear, but only for those who refuse to quit. Let me tell you a hard truth. Most people fail not because of lack of ability, but because they lack sustained effort. They give up when it gets dark. They stop when they can't see progress. They quit when the results don't show up fast enough. But success isn't for the impatient. Success is for those who hold the vision when there's no evidence. That's when your paradigm gets tested. Your paradigm, the mental programming that's running 95% of your daily actions, does not want to change. It wants to keep you where you are. It tells you this is good enough, this is safe, this is comfortable. But growth never happens inside comfort. Growth demands that you stretch, that you confront fear, that you go beyond the known. So how do you do it? You reprogram your paradigm through repetition, emotion, and new behavior. You keep feeding your mind with new truth. You take action even when it's uncomfortable. You speak affirmations not because they're magic words, but because words repeated with belief rewrite your inner blueprint. You visualize daily, not for entertainment, but because what you repeatedly see, you begin to believe. You become what you think about. You become what you feel consistently. You become what you expect. So expect the best. Expect success. Expect your vision to manifest and act like it's already on its way. One of the most powerful tools you can use to shift your paradigm is the law of rhythm. Everything in life operates in cycles, up and down, in and out, growth and retreat. When things aren't going your way, it doesn't mean failure. It means you're in a downswing, and if you persist, the upswing will come. Seasons don't last forever. Winter ends. Spring follows, but only for those who don't give up during the storm. I want you to understand this deeply. Temporary defeat is not failure. Napoleon Hill said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But that benefit is only harvested by the persistent, the person who stays, the person who stays, the person who learns, the person who grows through it instead of folding under it. Now let's address something else. Intuition. Your intuition is not a mystical power reserved for a select few. It's the inner knowing that's always guiding you. But most people are too distracted, too noisy inside to hear it. You have to quiet your mind. You have to learn to trust the subtle pull inside you that says this is the way. That feeling you get, that knowing is, and when you act on it with faith and persistence, your results begin to multiply. You're not just a body. You're not even just a mind. You are a spiritual being in a physical body, gifted with an intellectual faculty called imagination. And with that imagination, you can build any future you desire. But you must direct it. You must discipline it. You must stop letting it be hijacked by fear and doubt. Use your imagination not to worry, but to create. Picture yourself succeeding. Feel it. Live there. Speak from there. Move from there. That inner world, when charged with persistence and faith, begins to dominate your outer world. You don't need to see the entire path. You don't need to know how. You need to trust the unseen laws. You need to trust your decision. You need to stay emotionally involved with the outcome and act as if it's already yours. And listen, this is important. If you're serious about growth, don't do it alone. Surround yourself with content that lifts you. Fill your ears with ideas that stretch you. Protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. You're getting value from this. I want you to follow this channel, because every video here is designed to rewire your thinking, upgrade your results, and put you in harmony with the laws of success. We're not here to play small. We're not here to settle. We're here to grow, to lead, to create, and to fulfill the deep purpose we were born with. So here's your final call in this message. Decide what you want. Believe that it's already yours. Act in alignment every single day. Persist, no matter what, and let nothing, absolutely nothing, shake your vision. The world makes room for the man or woman who knows where they're going and refuses to stop until they get there. Now go get it.